welcome back to another episode of our life seasons where we talk about the different seasons of life and how we grow through it. I'm your host Wen. If you have been loving the podcast episodes, do leave a review of this podcast on whichever platform that you're on and let me know which topics are your favorite. I would love for the episodes to reach more people so that we could actually help more people along the way. So I'll be very grateful if you could leave a review or just a rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, YouTube, whichever platform they are on. Okay, so today's episode is actually a requested one by Yuva on money mindset. So, money mindset is a topic that not many would talk about. It's like a taboo topic that, no one wants to really be honest about their journey or relationship with money. So you already know it. I'm just creating this episode on this because it's gonna be the most raw and honest truth of my money mindset journey and also where I am currently at with money and the relationship that I have with money. Okay, so and also please be sure to actually stick till the end to actually hear an actual letter that I wrote to money, and through that letter I changed like the way I viewed money and was also able to build like a better relationship with money. And all these techniques of writing a love letter to money and rebuilding that relationship with money, I'll be sharing it with you guys in this episode. So no gatekeeping, okay? Now, I just want to start off by walking you guys through like how my money mindset has changed over the years, which have actually resulted me in bringing in a lot of my manifestations, and it's honestly an insane journey. Like where I am today, it's just so shocking, and everything that I've actually manifested into my reality up to today, I'm still really shocked. It still feels like a dream. And I've actually talked a little bit about what I've manifested over like a few episodes. So if you guys actually are a listener of our live seasons, you guys would know that I talked a lot about like what I've manifested, and I'm always very open as to what I want to manifest and what I've actually manifested and how long did it take for me to manifest. So, episodes like the vision board episode and episodes like wrapping up my 2023, you guys will be able to hear the things that have happened, and I will also be wrapping up 2024. Obviously, we are very early on in 2024, but I want to make it a habit, or rather this ritual, where I wrap up every single year so that you guys can actually see how much we have grown together as a community as well, or I've grown in my journey in terms of manifestation, abundance, whatever there is, every little bit and pieces of my life, I want to share it with you guys. So yeah, with that said, I would say, of course, like the manifestations is a good mix of money and other aspects of life, like career, relationships, and even things that happen like on a day-to-day basis, both big and small, so that you guys can actually have like a better understanding of and better context of where I was with money. I want to talk about my money mindset from the start all the way to the end. So it gives you guys a little bit of a better context of where I was with money and how I am like right now and what made me who I am today. And of course, all like the nitty-gritty of what I did found helpful for me and what I learned from my mentor. So one thing I want to point out is that since last year 2023, my money mindset has actually drastically changed. Like, I'm not even joking when I say that. Where I am now is definitely like an improvement from where I was years back. I wouldn't say that like my money mindset is like the best right now, but I would say that it have really like I've improved over the years. And I always believe that money mindset is something that we would constantly be working on. It's just like how, you would in life, we will always be facing challenges. There won't be a point in time where you just feel like your life is just perfect. There's rainbows and sunshines. You're not unhappy. You're just forever happy and forever just smiling and laughing. No, okay, because the duality of life applies as well. There's good and there's bad, right? So when there will be times where I am still like, struggling with the same money mindset again, or the same money story that I tell myself for many, many, many years. And it's still a work in progress, but I'm just very proud of where I am today. And I just feel like at this stage, I'm able to share with you guys what I've learned, like the learnings and my insights of what I've really found helpful, and hopefully it would help you guys with it as well. Okay, so for those of you who listened to the episode on releasing resentment, episode 4, you would have heard how I managed to heal a huge part of my money mindset that came from my upbringing, and mainly the relationship that I had with my dad. And it's not something that I talk about it openly, but through that episode I'm able to talk about it and have that courage to talk about it, because the relationship that I had with my dad right now, it's stronger than ever, and that resentment was just gone. Okay, so if you want to know like the nitty-gritty or like the specifics of what happened, go listen to that episode, because I talk a lot about like the money mindset, especially with my dad. money mindset has been something, money has always been tied together with my dad. So in that episode, even though it's about resentment, I talk a lot more about the money part of things as well. Okay, so I did not have a good relationship with money. I was never able to hold more than a certain amount of money in my bank account because energetically there were a lot of subconscious blocks that I had around money, even though I want more financial abundance like everyone else, but I just wasn't seeing it in my reality. And not gonna lie, it was really, really frustrating. I mean, probably some of you could actually imagine it, like waking up every single day, worrying about how much I was gonna spend that day and how I could earn more money. And was there even a possibility that I was gonna be free, like financially free or free from all these fears that was tying me down? And I was so tired and so done with just waking up worrying about not having enough money. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you would have your own version of fears around money as well. It is very common for us humans to not have a good relationship with money, or just looking at money in not so good of a light, right? And I think it's because of how, like, the way we brought up and how the whole society views money in general. It is very normal, though it's very sad, but I want to say that it's just very common, right? I don't think like everyone or anyone is born with this good money mindset. There will always be this little part of us, like it's just the amount of percentage that we are playing with, on how bad, open inverted bad, our money mindset is, or how fearful we are when it comes to money. And just like I mentioned, right, it's a taboo topic that not a lot of people want to talk about. Even for me sitting here and talking about it, it's a little bit hard. It took me quite some time to actually sit with this topic and see how I want to go about talking about it. But at the same time, I knew that I was going to be very open and honest with you guys on how I viewed money and how I view money now. And I know that this topic or this episode is going to ruffle some feathers as per usual. But I just want to put it out there, okay? I just want to put it out there on like my money mindset right now, and just openly talk to you guys about money and not being afraid or gatekeeping anything, okay? So I just want to say that there are a lot of reasons why we are unhappy with money or unhappy with a certain situation that we're in. I was very unhappy in the constant chase of more money, more financial freedom, more abundance. I was just so tired, and I think there will come to a point where you're just very tired, right? There's a go, go, go mentality, and then just trying to hustle, trying to earn more money, trying to see how you could gain financial freedom. But I think I've come to a point for me where I sat down and think there is definitely more to life than just money, right? Of course, everyone loves money, and it's not wrong to love money. It's just how intense it is, like, or to what extent would you do to get that money and get that back, right? So I think everyone's situation is very different. I can't speak for everyone, but for myself, I think I come to a point where I feel that money isn't everything, because there are so many other things in life, like just family, friends, and being able to live in the moment and just not worry about money. Because when I used to be at a point where money was everything to me, right? Like, as much as I still respect my friends and family, but whatever that I did relates back to money. Even for my passion, whatever business that I start, it was always, I started it because I want to earn money. I started it because I want, and I think that it could give me financial freedom. And even though that was my passion, like designing for example, like I turned design, something that I really love, into something that was just purely business, and I drained out so quickly. Yes, I do have clients, but the thing is that I wasn't able to sustain it. It wasn't a sustainable business because of the founder, which is me, not being able to see through it and not having that motivation to go through it. I think that is like a common thing that I've seen amongst like entrepreneurs, where if they are not doing something that they are truly passionate about, and are able to do it without the money aspect of things, it's very hard to keep going, okay? Because money really, as much whether or not you like it, money really do play a very big part in our lives, and it's just how you choose for it to play in your life. What role do you choose for it to play? Is it gonna be like at the driver's seat, or is it gonna be the passenger, or is it gonna be at all the way at the back, right? It really depends on everyone. For me, it used to be the driver, and it drives me crazy. But now I'm like, okay, you could be at the side of the seat, the passenger seat, and you can give your opinions, but at the end of the day, I am still going to be the one that's making decisions, and I want to be able to live life in the present moment. And this mindset really changed everything. It somehow, when I let go, like all my manifestations start coming in. I see more abundance coming in. It's so crazy. I'm not even lying to you. Like, there's this fear of me just letting go and just being like, forget it, like just screw it, I'm just gonna go with the flow and just live in the present moment. It's a lot of fear. But this version of me also pushed for all my manifestations to be able to start coming in, all my money mindset or whatever being able to start helping me to see that coming into my reality, just because I've let go. So that's why I keep talking about letting go of control, detaching, because it's really important when it comes to money as well, okay? Because money is energy, and I'll talk about it in a little bit at a later part of this video. So I just want to say that if you're frustrated, it's very, very, very normal, okay? I used to be someone that was very unhappy when it comes to anything money, okay? I felt bad for wanting more. I felt like I should be grateful for what I already have, and felt selfish and ungrateful for asking for more from the universe. There was this constant guilt that was revolving around me, okay? I was constantly worrying and very tense about where money was gonna go, but I was also afraid to check my bank account. You could say I was an anxious, like, avoidant when it comes to money. I would be worried, but I'm too afraid to check what's left in my savings. And you could just imagine how bad my spending habits were, because I just didn't want to think about it. I didn't want to think about money. Anything that relates to money, I was just like, no, 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 I don't want to think about it, because thinking about it scares the shit out of me, okay? And I was always very cautious around money. I was a very, very uptight person around money. I remember looking at my bank account at the age of 17 and saw that it was negative $16. I remember this so clearly, and I started panicking. And little did I know that that day was where this lack mentality and fears were actually ingrained in my mind. So from then on, I attached a meaning and emotions to the plus signs and the negative signs that I see in my bank statements, okay? So if I see a plus sign, of course I will be happy. And when I see a negative sign of deduction of some sort, I would start panicking and spiraling. I'm not even joking how bad it was. I would literally start thinking, oh my god, was that purchase necessary? Like, I could have saved there. What if I'm broke? Like, what if I go broke, etc. Even if, like, that amount, like that negative sign or that deduction was actually meant for an investment in mentors or courses or books, I would still see it as a bad sign. And it was really bad to a point where I never saw money as a happy thing. Like, it was always evil. It brings about the most evil side of people, and that was what I felt back then, and that was the mentality that I had. I didn't even think much about it. I wasn't even aware that I had that mentality until I really bring it up. But I always feel like, it was a story that I hold on to for years, and little did I know that it was the exact same reason as to why I felt like I was in this constant loop of never enough and fearing money. Okay, and you might have that as well. So it's very important, and I mention this a lot of times, is to be self-aware of your subconscious mind, because literally your subconscious mind operates 90% of your life. Whether or not you like it, you may think that it's your conscious mind, but no, it's your subconscious mind that is operating and making decisions for you. And the same thing for money. Your subconscious mind about money, your subconscious thoughts and stories that you've been telling yourself about money is actually making decisions for you on a day-to-day basis. Okay, trust me on that. It may seem like, oh, you're very cautious about or conscious about the way you spend money, but all this decision making is based on what happened in the past, like a trauma or whatever that you have been holding on to, or you choose to hold on to from, like, the past, okay, from past experiences. So this was one of the examples. So I viewed money as something that was so scary and so sacred. Ever since then, I wasn't aware of it, all until I actually met my mentor and she worked through this with me. So she shined light on, like, the different emotions that I was actually attaching to, with the plus signs and the minus signs, like the positive and negative signs in my bank account. And it had to do with a lot of, like, my inner healing. I had to do a lot of inner healing and shadow work to make sure that I get the root to the problem of where this money story was coming from. And of course, it led back to, a lot of times I think it's childhood. A lot of times it's what we hear from our relatives, what we hear from people around us, and we take on people's opinions and perspective without questioning them. So right now, I always like to tell you guys to question every single thing, okay? It's not annoying and it's not irritating to question every single thing people say and have your twist on it. Never take things just as it is. Always put your twist to it, okay? And I would say that I made sure to understand where the roots of this money story that was where it was coming from and why it was actually hindering my progress. So it was tough, but it was so worth it. I took a lot of times, like, probably even up to now, I'm still trying to figure certain things out. I'm still trying to work through my inner healing when it comes to money. But I would say it's so much better right now as compared to where it was, because I'm more cautious and I'm more conscious about the things that I'm telling myself about money. I catch myself. So this is something that I feel like is a very important skill that you need as well, is to be able to catch yourself when you talk shit about money, or how just observing yourself and be like, how are you talking to money, or how are you talking about money to other people? What are the things that people are saying around you about money? Because most of the time, the 5 people that you spend the most time with, how they talk about money is the exact same reflection of how you think about money. Okay, so they are a very good reflection of what your money mindset is. So if you don't know what your money mindset is and you don't want to sit and think about it, just ask the people around you, the closest people around you, your parents, your siblings, your grandparents, I don't know, your friends. You'll be able to have a good gauge of where your money mindset is at, all right? And sometimes it may not be pretty, but I would say it's a good sign for you to start actually, looking at the problem and start working, okay, not problem, but looking at your money mindset and start working through it, okay? So, I want you to think of when did your first fear of money actually came from, like the very start of it. Start like, where did it actually came from? Your subconscious nerves around money. Where did all this come from? What specific incident actually happened around money that allow you to have and start building this mentality, okay? Because this is where you can really get to change the way you see money and start seeing significant changes in your life, whether it's emotionally or materialistically, okay? Like, really, a lot of things can happen and it can seep into the different aspects of your life, like your relationships, your career, even just your confidence. Money is something that is such a broad topic, but it really just trickles down into different aspects of your life, whether you like it or not. And I can't stress this enough of how you may think that, oh, it's just money. Like, my money mindset is not going to affect anything. But it does, because if you're constantly thinking about how you're going to earn more money, and right now I think everyone in this society is thinking about, oh, more money, with inflation and whatever, money is always the topic, and it's a constant topic that we're talking about. How you talk about it is very, very important. So I think right now this episode came at a really timely time where, you're able to start working on your money mindset, because it's something that I also need to work on, like, myself. And it's just some of like the tips and tricks that I would be sharing of how it has helped me, okay? So if you're nodding your head and if you're relating to all of this that I just talked about, this episode is really for you, because like I said, I'm gonna share some techniques I found really helpful to slowly allow myself to work through my money mindset and face it head on instead of running away. Because I used to be, like I mentioned, an anxious avoider. I run away from the problem. I run away from money, okay? So this is something that I've been doing for years until I finally decided to face it once and for all last year, okay? I want to say that though I am not an advocate for relying on saving money only, like, oh, you just save and keep saving money. I'm not an advocate for that. You may have a different opinion, but this is just me. Yes, saving is important, but what matters more to me is to see yourself and money as a team, right? You guys work together and you allow money to go out and bring more of its friends back. For example, investing your money and allowing it to exit your bank account and circulate and come back. Being able to have this, come and go energy and accepting it, and not just keeping it. Because thinking like you could only save money to become rich or to become where you want to be, it's a lack mentality still, right? You think that, oh, you gotta keep and you can't let it go. It's about holding on to it and not being able to detach from it. So that is the reason why I say I do not rely only on saving money. Savings is important, okay? Don't get me wrong, savings is important. But if you're only relying on savings, it just shows that there is still some part of you that is just not being able to let go of money and allow it to circulate and trust that it will come back, okay? I would say to try not to control it, try not to control money and have this resistance, because that is when everything will feel so tiring and it's just for both you and money, okay? So allowing it to just come and go and just being happy with it, with where you are, okay? So a lot of times we think that we are receptive to money and we want more money, but our subconscious, like I said, is saying a total different thing. It's the energy that matters. The way you talk about money, use money, and think of money, all this matters. Treat it like a person and you'll see how it will treat you back, okay? Yes, treat money like a friend. I said it. Money is energy. It finds people who vibrates on the same energy as it does. I like to think of it this way. If you're a negative person and you're constantly ranting and talking shit about a particular person, do you think that person will actually still want to be around you? No, right? So the same thing for money. If you're constantly afraid of, like money, or you feel like you want to constantly be talking shit about money, nothing good ever comes out of your mouth when you mention something about money, do you think money will still want to be around you? No. So this gave me like a first shift on how I would think and talk about money from my heart, and not the surface level of, I need to do this, or say that, more money can come to me. I don't talk about mantras like that. I don't just say things on the surface level, because it doesn't really help me, okay? If you don't feel into that mantra, if you don't feel into whatever manifestations that you want to have, whatever that's relating to money, it will never come, okay? It would not work, because trust me, feeling into it is very, very important. And your love for money is key to everything. If you're able to love money, if you're able to trust it, it will come to you, okay? And this really boils down to how you feel deep within. You really gotta feel it in your gut. I can't help you on this. Only you can, okay? Because I can tell you this, saying money mantras or affirmations repeatedly but not actually believing in it is not gonna help you, no matter how many years or how many times you are trying to ingrain it into your mind. It just won't work. You really gotta feel into it, okay? I have a podcast episode on feel as if, or like act as if, in terms of manifestation. So give that podcast a listen, so you have a better idea of how manifestation works and how it all ties in with money. Because when we talk about money, manifestation definitely comes with it, okay? So trust me, I've tried writing checks to myself and doing all like the money work that people talk about on TikTok to manifest more money, whether it's with the new moon, full moon, and all that. While I'm not saying that it doesn't work, it might have worked for some. It did not work for me, because my money mindset was just not it, okay? Deep down, I did not believe that I could or deserve to have that money. So even though I wanted X amount of money, I knew I was not able to handle that amount of money when it really comes, okay? You may think you can, but trust me, the universe knows better, and therefore it will not let you have that amount of money. Argue all you want, but if you're not mentally ready and not energetically ready for it to come, you will not have it, okay? Trusting, you really gotta trust and believe that you can hold that amount of money and make that energetic space for it to come in to your mind and to your life. Then it will come in. I know it's crazy to think that, and this is just how it works, okay? Trust me, I've tried and been frustrated for too many times and decided to let go and just work on my relationship with money, honestly. And that was when everything came in at one go. It was when it feels like, I figured out the key, and I had the key to open the floodgates to abundance, which then spilled into, again, the different areas of my life. Career changes, relationship with myself and others actually leveled up like 100 times better, and I was just happier in general. I'm able to let go a lot of things and just be like, okay, I'm able to spend on things that I used to not be able to spend on, things like self-care and self-love activities, just because I felt like it was a waste of money. I felt like I didn't want to do it. But just being able to spend money on stuff like that, and tell myself that it's okay. I know that money's gonna come back, because I am in that energetic space where I'm just happy letting that money go. So when that happened, a lot more amazing things happened. Because I think I talked about it in one of my episodes before, where early 2023, I decided that I wanted to take care of myself more. I wanted to love myself a little bit more, and one of them was to actually go for facials. So I signed up a facial package that was, I think, $3,000 over, and it was a huge amount of money back then, because to me, I've never spent that amount on self-care, right? It was an open inverted waste of money to me, because I could have spent that money on so many other things, right, that I thought I could spend on. But I knew, and I caught myself back then, and I was like, okay, no, I'm still gonna proceed spending that money. And when I pay for it, before paying for it, I would tell myself that I know this money is gonna circulate back to me 2 times, 10 times, whatever times, like however amount of money, I'm gonna be able to manifest it back into my life, just because of the energy that I was in. And lo and behold, guess what? Like few months later, okay, not really few months, I think like few weeks later, a month later, I actually got a promotion. And that pay, that 3K, felt like it was so worth it, because I was able to pay it off and have extra with my new salary. And that was insane. I was like, oh my god, this is when I knew that, really just trusting your energy and just knowing that you can spend and know that money just circulates around you, and provide that safe space, provide that energy, and that space for money to just want to constantly be around you, because you're just such a happy person. Okay, it's like really like humans. Money really are like humans. We want to be around people who are positive, right? We don't want to be around people who are negative, who are in drama, and who just yaps and yaps and yaps about how bad money is. We don't want that. I don't want that. So I hope that you don't want that as well, okay? Because the most unhappy people are the people that constantly complains. Like it or not, believe it or not, the most unhappy people are the people that constantly complains. They complain about everything and anything in life, no matter how much, like the universe or life can show them that, hey, you have something that you can be grateful for. They're like, nope, Nope, never enough. It's never enough. That's why they constantly are unhappy, okay? And they thrive in unhappiness because they just don't know how to feel happy or how to deal with happiness. Okay, I know it's a bit crazy, but yeah, that's just kind of what I found. So what I want to say is that it really boils down to you sitting down with yourself and work through where all these blockages are coming from. What are some of the stories that you've been holding on to that is blocking you from receiving energetically? Because you can say that you want money to come into your life and that you really love money. Who doesn't, right? But your subconscious will never lie to you. If you still feel icky towards money or have any doubt that it loves you, that will reflect into your reality. So the best gauge of whether you have a good relationship with money is to look at your current reality and feel into how you think of money, your finances. Are you living paycheck to paycheck, feeling bummed out and really just trying to survive and pray and hope that you have enough to cover for the month? Or are you spending more than you can for paying more than you can pay for that, because you're relying on credit cards and letting your debt pile up? Or are you tracking where your money is going with a lighthearted mindset and have full faith that it's gonna come full circle, right? Appreciating every single dollar and cent that is in your bank account. Because all of this actually makes a difference. Your choices are important and it helps you to shape the relationship that you have with money, which determines if you're gonna have more of it or you're gonna actually use it for good, right? Whatever you tell yourself about money is true. If you say that you're gonna be broke, guess what? You will continue to be broke, open inverted broke. If you say that the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer and you categorize yourself as a poor, guess what? You will indeed get poorer because whatever that you think of, whatever that you focus on grows. And I've said it a lot of times before, it's just a law of attraction. It's just the law of the universe, right? Whatever that you focus on grows. Because if you're constantly thinking about it, guess what? It's gonna manifest into your life because the universe doesn't hear the good and the bad. Okay, it's just hear what you want. So if you say you don't want certain things, it doesn't hear the don't. It just hears I want, to be broke or I want to be poorer. Okay, even if, it doesn't hear the negative, it hears the positive. That's just how the way the universe works. Okay, so yes, I said it. Whatever you choose to believe will always be a reflection of your reality. Like it or not, because that is how powerful our brains can be. So you might as well put it to good use, right? And allow it to assist you in getting whatever you desire instead of letting it bog you down. So with that said, I want to share with you guys the first action step that you can take that I have for you, because it is actually to come up with a money ritual, okay? And let me just explain. This is a ritual that you get to be grateful for money every single time money comes in your bank, big or small amount. And here's the catch. Create another ritual for when money exits your bank account. Yes, celebrate both the in and out, okay? Celebrate that it's circulating to do good for you. It's just an exchange in energy, that's all. It's a transaction of time or skills or whatever that is. It is always a two-way benefit and it's worth celebrating, okay? This is an exercise for you to start appreciating money and slowly build the trust that you have between money and you, okay? Some of my money ritual is, let me give you an example, okay? To rejoice, to jump around and do a happy dance or say thank you for what we can achieve together as a team, or visualize it circulating you and appreciating you for going out there to make a difference. Or you can actually do whatever you want. Pop a champagne, drink a glass of wine, cook your favorite dish, treat yourself to something nice. No matter how big or small that celebration is, it does not matter. The point is to get you to be used to money exiting and coming into your life and being okay with it and then celebrating it, not attaching any emotions to it and being used to it coming in and go. It's just like the flow of life, right? So take some time to think of what your money ritual will be, what you want it to be. Make it fun for yourself. Most importantly, make it easily accessible so that you can actually celebrate it at any time and anywhere where you don't have to wait, okay? Because the key is to celebrate within 5 minutes of the transaction or of whatever that involves money, when money is coming in or money is going out, so that you can stay in the energy and drag it out. Be in this abundance and just feel so excited that, oh my god, money is actually working for me. It's actually circulating for me and it's gonna come back so much stronger and everything, okay? It's just being in this positive state. Now, I want to tap into this energy as well, and I want to introduce this exercise, this second exercise that I found really, really, really helpful, and I'm not sure how many of you have actually heard of it before, but basically it's to write a love letter to money. And this is not your typical love letter, okay? It's not about all the fluff and how much you love money, blah, blah, blah. It's not that. This is an honest truth of what you really feel about money, what you dislike about it, and what you want it to be, and what you envision your relationship to be, okay? Remember how I said, treat money like a friend? Yes, treat this as a letter to your friend. that friend that you cared so much for but has this misunderstanding between you guys for years now, and you want to address it. You finally are ready to address it and rebuild that friendship on the foundation of trust and open communication and honesty. So feeling like you can actually pour your hearts out and just really be very honest and truthful with how you feel, and let money know how you have been thinking, like what you have been thinking, your deepest, darkest secrets that you have been hiding from it, okay? This is a time to let it all out, and I'm going to give you some prompters in just a bit to get you started. And it would actually be split into 4 sections. You don't have to follow it in order, it's just a gauge, okay? Like I said, put your twist to it, let it flow. Similar to what I mentioned in last week's episode 45, on the habit of journaling, I want you to just let it flow. Don't care about grammatical errors or punctuation or whatever, just let it flow. If you need, here's your permission to let yourself flow and let it all out. All the anger, all the sadness, all the disappointment that you have with money, let it out, okay? There's nothing wrong about writing open inverted negative things about money in this letter, as long as you end it on a positive note, and you'll see how I do it later, okay? So I can't stress this enough. Please don't hold back on anything. This is a letter between you and money. No one else is reading it, so just let it out, okay? There's no such thing as like, oh my god, if I were to write something negative, if I were to really say how I feel about money right now, money's gonna hate me, money's not gonna come to me. No, okay? This is just a letting it all out once and for all, and then thinking of a way to actually create a better relationship with money. And you would be able to see how I actually split all these 4 sections, so that at the end of the day, you're still in this positive mentality and this positive energy with money, okay? So let's get into the prompters. First section is about being vulnerable. So I want you to ask yourself, how are you currently feeling and thinking about money? Be as honest and truthful as possible. No filters, okay? If you hate it, just say that you hate money. Don't leave anything unsaid. There is no way you can offend money. Let it know. This is a time to actually work things out, right? So it's just like in a relationship, open communication is so important. Communicating with your partner is important. So think of money as your partner and allow yourself to communicate with it openly, okay? Money is not gonna hate you, so just open. This is an open space to talk about things that you have really want to talk about, okay? So another thing is to think about how you have treated it in the past and why. Have you avoided money because you feel like you don't deserve it? Or have you been talking shit about it because everyone around you is doing it and you kind of feel obliged to do it because you tend to people please? What is it? Again, be very, very honest with yourself, okay? Now, next, to think of what you're sorry for. What do you want to apologize for? Is it the grudges that you hold against it, or the fact that you don't stand up for money in front of people who talk shit about it? So what exactly are you sorry for? Next, what you thought was true. So I want you to think about what specific story you have around money that you've heard and take on that is no longer true to you, that you don't believe is true to you. Okay, this is when you start thinking. Next, moving on to the next section, we have expanding on the possibilities of money and what you can do together. So I want you to share what you believe you guys can achieve together in the letter and how you can actually work together. What do you want to do with money? Okay, why do you want more of money? Is it to help more people? And if so, how do you want to help them? Be very specific and very detailed as much as you can. Okay, it's really gonna help you. So once you imagine all the possibilities, it's important to show appreciation for how money has been showing up for you until this point. Okay, this part is very important. This may be tough, but know that there will definitely be something that you can be grateful for, something that you can appreciate money for. So ask yourself, what does money allow you to do now? So thank money for all the ways it has shown up in your life that you have not consciously shown gratitude until now. Okay, it can be thanking money for giving you the chance to travel and explore different parts of the world or even specific places, or thank it for allowing you to eat food that you love, or showering your friends and family with gifts for special occasions. Keep this list long and keep going. Don't stop. Expand your mind. If you really can't think of anything, let me just give you one example. Whatever platform that you're hearing it right now, whatever device that you're using to hear this in podcast right now, I'm sure money was involved, right? Money was involved when you were purchasing this device. So thank money for that. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can keep going on. Just keep pushing yourself. There's so much more to be grateful for when it comes to money, all right? So lastly, to wrap up, you want to show love to money and end it on a good note, right? Like I said. So think of how you want the relationship to change. Set new intentions for your relationship with money and to tell it how you want it to show up in your life for you and how you will show up for it. It's a teamwork, okay? You will navigate through life with money, and that is a promise you both make to each other in this letter. Okay, so you gotta wrap it up nicely. So please don't skip this activity. It is very, very crucial. If you get anything out of this episode, I want it to be this letter. And if you have not done it before, I really highly recommend you to do it because it's really amazing and it's life changing. And because it's so important, I want to share mine with you guys to encourage you to really take a step further to do it. So it doesn't take really long. Honestly, it'll be worth every minute of it. Set a time and space for yourself to be vulnerable and not be distracted by anything that's going on in life. Put everything else on hold for this time. So it's very, very worth it. Okay, I really promise you, if you allow yourself to have this space to just sit down and talk to money about things that you've been bottling up, it will help you. Okay, you would feel so much more relief. All right, you will come out stronger and lighter. Trust me on that. So, all right, as promised, before I end, I want to share with you my very own example of what a love letter to money really looks like. And this was a letter that I wrote a few weeks back. So before this request came about, so this came at the right time, and I think it will really help you guys to kind of have a gauge of how my relationship with money has changed, and it is still changing. Like I said, I may not have the best money mindset, it's still a work in progress, but I'm getting there, and your letter may sound completely different from mine, but I want you to let yourself be as honest as you can get, because in this letter, I was very, very honest with how I feel, and you could see it in just a bit. So here's what I wrote to Money. Okay, you ready? Dear Money, I'm very confused about you right now. I love you, but at the same time, I feel like I lose you easily. I don't know why you don't stay in my life long enough, though I'm very grateful that sometimes you come with a lot of your friends, but sometimes you just kind of show up solo. And it is always this fear between us that we will lose each other even though we want to be with each other. I know I might not have created the safer space for you, but I want you to show me that you will stay. Sometimes it gets really frustrating that you don't stay in my life for long, and I feel like I need to chase you. Since we're having this candid conversation, I want you to know that this is a relationship that both of us need to work on, and I know I need to give you a safe space to show me that you want to stick around, because I know you do. If not, the universe would not have given me this desire to have more of you. I know a lot of people talk shit about you and even hate you, and that is why you don't want to be near them. That's fair. And perhaps I have been around people that are like that as well. And even if I know deep down I love you, you might take this as a sign that I am like that. I am like them too. Trust me, I'm working on it. I know that their view on you is not how I see you. I know that you have a loving character and you just want the best for everyone, but sadly, people just don't see your intentions and they are quick to judge. We humans are like that, and it's not fair for you. I get how you feel when you're constantly hearing people's nasty comments and judgments about you, even though you have helped so many humans in the world to achieve what they want, be it retiring their parents, living their dream life and a fulfilled one, providing welfare to people who really need it, and allowing for us to be able to exchange our expertise and energy around you. To be honest, sometimes I've wished that you did not exist, so maybe the world would be less stressful, because everyone seems to have a love-hate relationship with you, and it causes a lot of chaos whenever you are brought up in a conversation, and it is always sensitive and hostile. I don't see a lot of happy conversations around you, and maybe that is why our relationship has not been the best it can be, even though I really believe that we can build one, and that is why we're having this conversation today. I would love more of you, and I know you feel the same way too. I no longer want to be ashamed of saying this out loud. I want more of you. Everyone wants more of you, but I know that not many can get that because you choose your people. You are selective with who you hang out with, and I respect that. I want you to know that it is safe to hang out with me because I have so much that I can think we can achieve together as a team. Starting off with retiring my parents, living a more fulfilled life that can inspire more people to do the same, and slowly but surely let that ripple effect flow, and more people will be happier, and in turn, we can make an impact in this world where there are more people living out their dream life and then giving back to the society. Isn't that amazing? With you around, I could donate to people who needs it and still have more of you guys to help. That is what the universe wants, right? The collaboration between us humans and you. I know it takes time for me to gain your trust, but I will show you that I have space for you, a healthy and light-hearted one. Maybe in the past I have held on to you too tight and you might felt like I'm breathing down your neck, so you leave as soon as you enter because it's just not the vibes. Now I see it and I want to change that for us. I have learned to circulate you and let you go, to trust that if I trust you to return, you will, and let you roam freely whenever you want. I want to be that space for you to come hang with more of your friends because I will throw a party every time that you walk into my space, be it alone or with your friends. This is your happy place and I love having you around. I no longer care about what others think, and I just know we will make such a good team together to make a difference in the world. I know I have so much to offer in this world, and you can be that exchange for it. Be part of these good vibes and just pure joy. I'm sure you'll love to be part of this with your friends and see how much of an impact you guys have on people. Today, I let go of all the negative thoughts I have of you because you've never judged me this harshly. I know you are very fair. You only gravitate towards people who celebrate your presence, alone or in a group. I want us to see how this relationship can work out amongst us. I will do my part to attract more of you and to decorate this space with everything you love. Good vibes, positivities, dreams, affirmations, joy, and laughter. I will speak about you in a very positive and light-hearted, fun way and not hang with people who talk shit about you as my best friend. I promise that I will stay away from them and not talk shit together with them. Not even laugh at their disrespectful jokes about you because that is not what friends do. I will support you in all the ways that I can and all the ways that you have supported me too. Thank you for allowing me to have clean water to drink. Thank you for allowing me to show my appreciation to my friends and family through you. Thank you for being the way companies show that they value my skill set and what I have to offer. Thank you for allowing me to travel to so many places and experience all the different cultures and having the privilege to do that multiple times a year. Thank you for the amazing food that I get to eat and amazing items that I have in my possession right now. Thank you for helping so many people live out their dreams. Thank you for allowing me to be able to focus on our life seasons fully and not have to worry about anything. Thank you for showing me that you have always tried to be in my life, bringing more friends, but I just wasn't ready for you yet. Now I am. Thank you for putting smiles onto people's face and being a blessing. Let's work together as a team from now on to make an impact of our own in this world. With you, I can get to work with more people and help more people because I will be in a better state of mind, traveling and actually living the life that I want to live in the best way possible. And that will create this cycle of feeling good, doing good, impacting people. I don't want to be in the lack anymore and be ditched in the cold. I want us to work hand in hand. I've always loved you but have never really shown it out, and I think it's about time I do that. I see that you're slowly trying to ease into my life again, but it's still skeptical, so no worries, I will guide you in. I know you feel this resentment that I have towards you previously and it still carries on till today, but I know and have seen that you've always been there for me when I need you, and I truly appreciate that. I feel this comfort now knowing that when I work on building this space for you without desperation, you will come in and we can have a talk about building a dream together. That is teamwork. I'm super happy and excited for us to see where this journey takes us. In my world, you are loved and will always be loved. I will never talk shit about you and will continue to desire you because of all that we can achieve together. We can have a house together, the one with a sea view, nice furniture, great aesthetic kitchen, amazing bathroom with views. I have best of both worlds, the city and the sea view. One where I raise my beautiful mixed kids with my lovely husband. We are able to attract someone that appreciates you as much as I do and see you as I do so that we can combine you and his friends together and we can do more stuff together and make more impact together. I can't wait though for us to be able to have proper rest in a plane, being treated well, and just have that power to change the narrative of people's perception of you. I want to change that and let more people know about your worth and your power. I love you and I believe that you will enter my life when you are ready. And meantime, I will be building our space and have champagnes and celebration. Ready for when you do enter, be it alone or with a group of friends, it will always be a celebration where you will always be welcome. A safe space for you and your friends. So yes, that is my love letter to money. You can see how I was so vulnerable with how I feel, and at the very start with how, I actually didn't really have a good relationship with money and how I didn't like it, and proceed to send love and tell it how I expect our relationship to be, and end it with trust and how I'm going to celebrate it entering my life or living my life. I'm going to celebrate it both ways, which is the ritual that I just mentioned above, right? So I want you to do the same as well, and I hope that by listening to my letter, you'll be more motivated to actually write your letter as well to money and start working on building this relationship with money. Alright, so that's it for today's episode. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any burning questions or topics that you want me to cover, please drop me a DM on Instagram at our live seasons or comment on whichever platform that you're listening to so I can get back to you. Alright, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!